Hello everyone, this is Angel Skibel here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we're going to be reviewing Exit 8, directed by this guy and starring this guy. Sorry I can't read their names because I am not fluent in Japanese. So yeah, I'm just going to pull it up on the screen and these celebrities and the director you're going to search up and who they are. Well, without further ado, let's get to the review. So this movie is based off of an indie horror video game that came out back a few years ago, also titled by the same name, Exit 8. Basically, the premise of the game is that you are basically in a liminal, like infinite space of like a giant hallway of like a train station, and you're given this big sign on the list to say do not overlook anomalies. Make sure if you see these anomalies, you got to go turn back. And each time you turn back, when you spotted these anomalies, you actually get 1 point. And then each time, but if you overlook them, you have to restart the game. Basically, you're basically like in an infinite loop. But as you get to 8, that means you finally get to escape. So yeah, that's basically the premise of the game. But in the movie, it's also the same premise, but this time we follow our main protagonist, which doesn't really have a name, but he's just known as the Lost Man, or the Lost Man. I get that's what he was given as I was like doing my research on this movie. So it starts off with him in the train, listening to his music, and he gets off the train. He starts walking. He gets a phone call from his fiance, girlfriend, wife, whatever, they're the same. But then as he keeps walking up, the stairs of the train station, that's when he enters this loop where he just keeps going into this loop of like going back and forth. And also he noticed that the same man also keeps walking, which is also going to be important to the story, and he's also mentioned in the game. And he also comes across other people who are also lost, like this little boy who's also lost. He was also in the space with his dad, but his dad also gets lost too. So now him and the little boy, the lost man and the boy are trying to, figure out a way out to escape from this train station. But they have to look at these anomalies, and then they got to turn back to actually escape. And then towards the end of the movie, he finally escapes. But but the plot twist is crazy that he actually, repeats the cycle from where he was started from the beginning of the movie. I'm surprised how they really did this movie. Actually, what I like, I'm gonna start off like my pros in this movie. I really like how they start off with the movie being in the first person / POV point of view. I kind of said the same thing, but yeah, I like how they actually did this this first person view where which is basically like in the video game, and then as we get there, in this infinite loop, it literally resembles like the video game. And also what's interesting, they also add some new things, not only to the story and the character, but also they even added like new stuff. I think they even added a phone, kind of like this picture booth and some lockers, which were not in the game. And also another thing that I noticed is that because I've never played the game, but I've seen some gameplay of it. There's a lot that they also took out, which obviously I'm going to get into spoilers. There were these anomalies that never appeared in the movie. In the game, you get these anomalies where they actually have two agents just standing in the hallway. But in the movie, they were never there. And another anomaly that they also left out was the camouflage figure who would just stand in the hallway. But as you get close, he's gonna run towards you, and you had to escape from him. But if you don't, then he just gives you this quick jump scare, and then you die, and then you gotta do it again. Obviously, in the movie, they took him out. Just I don't know why, but they just took him out, which I think was kind of I feel like it could have been really scary and really got people off guard if they actually included him, but sadly they don't. But when it comes to like the new stuff, I like how they add like these new elements of like to actually add to the character to like his. Obviously, it's about a man, the lost man who's trying to become like a father, or at the time wasn't ready to become a father because he got the phone call from his wife about like, oh, she's pregnant, she's at the hospital, but the man, but however, our main character, he seems to be very nervous and scared to be a father. So throughout his loops that he goes through, he faces some anomalies that actually have to do with him facing the fact that he's going to be a father. Like there's a point in the story where he hears babies crying. He hears a baby crying in the locker. He was going to open it, but then he closes it. Then they hear a bunch of babies crying. That part really scared me. Like that part was really scary. And another part where the rats were just like they're all covered with like baby like parts, and I'm like, oh shit, that's scary. Like this was probably like another second scary film I've ever seen like this year. And the director, I'm not really too familiar with his works. Obviously he's a foreign director from Japan. I'm not familiar with like foreign directors that much. The actor's done a really good performance, especially the walking man who plays him. Obviously does a really good job. Also, he gets his own side story, which is not a thing in the game, but I actually do like that they include his story. Obviously, he was the dad of the boy that the boy also goes along with. Another thing that annoys me about the little boy is that little shit, he noticed anomalies and he doesn't say anything. And then later on, when the dad realizes that he missed an anomaly, he was so desperate that he sees an anomaly that thought that it was the way to escape, but no, it just kills him. And now he becomes the anomaly. Which I'm like, this little shit, like you could have said something, you could have saved his life, but no, you saved each other's lives, but no, you decided to not say anything. You're decided to like that's gonna fucking help. I do like how they put this message of about like men trying to become fathers, especially I think people from like Japan, because I heard that they have like the lowest ratings of Japanese people becoming parents nowadays. I mean, I've heard something like that. I'm not like too sure about that, but I do like how they actually put this message to like it's not like there's nothing to be afraid about becoming a parent. I mean, yeah, there's gonna come some responsibilities, but I do like that they include that message of for us men to try to become fathers. I also like towards the end, or like in the beginning, which is also kind of like the same, the beginning and the ending, where he kind of hears a woman carrying her crying baby in the train, which are full of people, and the guy yells at her saying, "Shut up! Why would you bring a baby in the train? Like, don't you feel bad for yourself or the baby?" And everyone just stays all quiet, like they don't stand up for her. Especially our main character doesn't do anything. Then towards the ending, also he repeats the same cycle. He goes through the same process again, sees the man yelling at the same woman. The man, obviously we get a shot of the man just looking up, and then walks towards his left, which implies the fact that he's probably gonna stand up to the woman and face the man. But however, the movie just cuts to the end credits saying exit 8. It's like we don't get to see it, but we can just assume that that's what he'll probably do. This horror film, I really love that we're finally getting, that we are able to see like foreign movies from like different countries, especially horror films. Great directing, great sound, great casting, great acting, performance. I mean, the CGI could be like a little off at times. Obviously, different country, they don't really have that much work for. But yeah, I definitely recommend anyone who's watching this review to go see this movie. If it's still in theaters, I don't know. But most foreign movies don't really stay that long, which is sad. So for my final verdict for this movie, just like Exit 8, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Actually, no. No, fuck that. 9. 9 out of 10. Yeah, forget I even said 8. I try to be clever with the whole 8 part, but no, I give it a 9 because it's really good. It's a really good horror film from a foreign country, so I really recommend you give it a watch. So in conclusion, going through hardship in life, in the end, it can lead you to something more beautiful. Well, that's going to be today's movie review, so make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon up there. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram page called Thunderstruck1810. This is Angel Esquivel here, and as always...
モカちゃんが教えてくれたいろんな見た目になれるアプリなんだって。どれどれ